Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first of 3 season finales for the CW shows. It's kind of weird that the one that started the latest is getting its finale first, but it's how it works when your shows take 16 breaks and the times don't work out good. So, let's get into it. Also, I have to add, somehow this show that involves time travel and being at different points in time was more correctly in the timeline of the shows than the Flash and Arrow have been together. Because the one time they had to show up back in 2016, they actually showed up at a point where everything made sense.
Yep.
All right,
Mike. It's weird how it works, but whatever.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. The episode is called, appropriately enough, Legendary. After the numerous sacrifices the team has made since the beginning of this ride, Rip decides that it's time they each decide their own destiny and returns them to Central City a few months after they first left, so around May. Returned to their normal lives, each team member must individually decide if they are willing to sacrifice everything in order to save the world. Meanwhile, Sarah visits her father, who delivers some heartbreaking news about her sister. And yeah, we'll just start there by saying that those scenes were pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Especially since Sarah is no stranger to death herself, having been restored to life. Well,
by her sister.
Yeah. But overall, I'd say this is one of the best season finales that I've seen in a very long time. I have a lot of positives, but I want to let Brock start off.
I was really happy that they got to let Mick and Snart have a little something.
It was a nice little bit of closure.
Yeah, and the fact that we got to hear him tell that to cocky Snart was kind of cool. And yeah, that was... Also, again, man, I'm going to have a quick complaint. CW, fire your promo people. You showed this in the promo. That he was going to be walking up to... They showed a picture of Snart sitting at that bar in the promo for this episode. Fire your promo people. You do this every week. But anyways, we're still on positives. Yeah, the scenes, also not just that scene, the scene at the grave with Sarah and Lance was great.
Mm-hmm.
The whole... I started tearing up. The whole... I know that she'd be proud of you. Why? Because I'm proud of you. Just Sarah finally getting... I don't know what it is. I never feel like Sarah ever actually feels that someone thinks she did something right.
But this episode, again, this episode had a lot to do with closure. In a positive sense.
Definitely. What else is positives? Positive that I have that was going to very quickly turn into a negative if it didn't happen. That Rip went in time, took the meteor and zipped off instead of just like, oh wait, I have a time machine. I'm going to slowly drift into the sun. That was pretty cool. Everyone's just, wait, where's the meteor? Where's Rip? What just happened? That was great. I feel like I'm gonna keep saying stuff, but I keep going. I'll let you get to the main stuff that you wanted to talk about, that you sent me messages about. But the other go to closure thing that happened was Snart so bad, not Snart, Stein. This entire show was always like, I need to get back to my wife. She's going to want me back, and she's going to be worried sick about me. He's back for a day and a half, and she's like, you're wasting your life here. You will be zipped right back here, and you wouldn't have been gone more than a day. Go do something important. Retired life doesn't suit you. And I love the fact that you talked with Jax about it and not Stein.
You know what this reminds me of? it's literally a callback to the first episode where Stein supposedly roofied Jax to get on the mission in the first place.
Exactly. That was a very good callback. I appreciate that. All right, your positives.
I'm gonna start with a few minor things. Lots of visual callbacks to Back to the Future. Like there's this one scene in 2021. They're fighting Savage. Rip like falls off the ledge, and then slowly rises up on top of the Wave Rider.
That was nice.
Yeah, it's the little things like that I absolutely love. Also, for the first time in live action, we get to see Firestorm do the thing. He does the thing.
Yes, he does. It was awesome.
There are so many great moments like that. Also, when Ray, when they were like taking out the meteorites, he's like, "I've been working on something," and he just blasts the meteorite into a miniaturized.
Yeah,
it's all the little stuff, and about like the story of this episode. I thought the idea of Savage, going to like the three different points in time, that was a great way to kind of bring the whole series together. Because what were some of the best episodes of this show? The pilot, which took place in 1975.
Yep.
Would You Kill a Baby Hitler?
Yeah.
The 2021.
Yep.
And the one that Joe Dante directed, the 50s episode.
The Night of the Hawk, I think it was called.
Yep.
Yeah.
Three of the best episodes, and they chose those times for this Thanagarian mumbo jumbo.
I love that. The entire time, Thea is my voice on Arrow. Cisco, for the most part, is my voice on The Flash. And so far, Jax has pretty much been my voice on. He's like, this is the most overly complicated bad guy plan in the history of bad guy plans.
We have a news story that we'll talk about at the end, but let's just say having all three of those heroes together would be amazing.
Yeah, it would. It's like that might happen.
But more on that later. We have other positives to get to, and then we're gonna talk about this season so far as a whole. There is the one last positive that I want to save. Are there any more little moments that you want to mention?
I did like that each of them had the moment. To me, it was stretching a bit, but I like that a couple of people got to kill Savage for very good reasons. Rory got to roast him alive. Snara got to literally snap his neck, and Kendra got the point blank be the one that set that whole chain of events off. That triggers back to Mick when he gets back at the present time. Oh man, I wanted to be the one to kill him. Again. It's just
Mick is like the Cisco of Legends. He always has like that one zinger.
That one's well, it was him and Snart, and now he's going to have to be because Snart's gone.
Yeah.
Little moments. Sarah actually wanting to stay to stop. I can't speak tonight. Staying to want to stop Dark made me happy. I still kind of wish he would have, but the fact that was something that actually crossed her mind, that of something of importance versus her own little escapades, was a good show of her character.
But to complement that, I like how it's her father that's like he didn't say that out loud, but he basically said saving the world is much more important than saving Star City.
It is true.
I know that Arrow is kind of shark jumped to Dark wants to destroy the world.
That's the one where I'm kind of like, it's the only somewhat semi-negative I had. I'm kind of like, the future's not going to be too great if Dark nukes the Earth. So the crew could have stayed and, like, you know, helped get rid of Dark and then time jumped. But that's the only real negative I have. Because continuity-wise and conscience-wise, that decision makes less than no sense to me. But TV show, that's why they need to leave.
Yeah.
Other positives. There's one real big positive that, for once, I was wrong, and I'm happy. Booster Gold didn't show up on the show. Rex Tyler did.
Yep, that's what we were getting towards.
What? Like, there was no inclination on God's green earth to me that our man was going to show up.
About that, I'll save it for the news section. But I found an article from January of 2015 that kind of talked about the CW making plans to expand the universe beyond Flash and Arrow. I'll read that once we get to the news.
But is it really sad? When does Justice League come out?
November 2017, unless it gets pushed back, but I hope it doesn't.
So, we're more than likely going to have seen the Justice League once on Smallville and the Justice Society on TV before we get a Justice League movie.
Yeah, in hindsight, how sad is that?
Come on.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah. But anyways, if there's any other positives, I'll let you get to them. That was the main big one.
I think we covered all our bases.
Definitely.
Now let's look back on the season as a whole. I already kind of gave away what my favorite episodes were. But what about some of the other ones? Like,
definitely the latter half of them in Russia.
Oh yeah,
when Snart and Sarah first start like communicating and caring for each other. That whole speech, that entire time, with Cold prodding her, she's like, "Yeah, when you kill him, I want you to look right into his eyes and watch as he dies. He's our teammate. Yeah, remember that." Like little moments like that were just so good. Again, another moment with Snart, that episode where Mick comes back as Kronos, or they figure out that Mick is Kronos, was awesome. We're going to just end up mentioning all the episodes because there's a crap load less of them than there is of Arrow and Flash. So one other big one that I really liked. Okay, I take that back. I think my favorite episode, because it was really kind of centered around a good subject and you got to see a lot of well put feelings into it, was Star City
2046.
46, yes. Just watching Sarah look at Oliver like distraught, destroyed, and run down, not knowing how to process that, and just caring for him like an old friend that it seems like hadn't seen in 40 years at that point, but just that was awesome.
I think
we got to see Oliver with only one arm, and we got to see the beard.
Speaking of which, have you seen photos of Stephen Amell at the CW up front? He's rocking a goatee-ish thing.
I still don't think we're ever going to actually see it shaved and like out to here. Like with
never say never.
Not say never. Some things are just too cartoony. There's a reason they had him have a full beard, but it was cool that we got to see a little bit of it to that. So yeah. I still wish at one point we'll get to see him shoot an arrow with his teeth. Come on. We have Firestorm and King Shark. I want to see Oliver shoot a bow and arrow with his teeth. anyways, any other favorite episodes you like to go over?
The Jonah Hex episode.
Oh yeah.
You know me and my affection for westerns.
Yes.
Yeah, and just we have seen Jonah Hex be great in animation. Like he showed up in Batman the Animated Series and Justice League Unlimited, and they tried to do a movie, but it was not a Jonah Hex movie.
That's not. I'm still here. I still hear stories about how they got that movie because Josh Brolin did cosplay.
Yeah, Josh Brolin did cosplay, and it's like, let's make a movie, and then they just didn't know what they were doing.
That is one of the best Jonah Hex lines in the trailer for that. So you can just watch the trailer for that and never watch the movie, and you'll thank us. But, anyways.
But yeah, this Jonah Hex was everything I wanted him to be.
Definitely.
What? There's so much more we can talk about. Before we get into news, let's talk predictions.
Oh my good Lord.
Predictions for next season.
I kind of think that male guy that they're talking about recruiting is going to be Citizen Steel. And I'm a lot less hesitant to think that could be Citizen Steel since we have the freaking Justice Society. The Hawks are no longer on the show. That I didn't expect to see leave, but
to be fair though, I'm pretty sure their story arc has been completed.
It has, but
it would be nice to see them on the show.
It's nice to see anything, but almost everybody that's on that ship doesn't have a story arc at this point.
True.
So I was just like, of all of them, actually, that kind of makes the most sense since they were centric around Savage. I can't really say predictions for a show that has time travel.
And that's what I love about the show. I love how okay, so Arrow, when it first started, this was before like the thought of a shared universe was even in the back of their minds. So they kept Arrow very grounded and realistic. And then season 2 happened, which introduced Barry Allen, which introduced some supernatural element, some supernatural elements, like the what was it called again? The Mirakuru.
Yes.
Which introduced superpowers to a certain extent. And then season 3 happened in Arrow, which also led to season 1 of The Flash. And that was a little bit more sci-fi. It was still kind of grounded in some reality because metahumans were only popping up after the particle accelerator exploded.
Definitely.
And then that show introduced time travel. And then the end of that season introduced the multiverse. And then Legends happens and it goes, this is caution. And that's the show. It just throws caution to the wind.
The wind. Whatever you thought we couldn't do before, forget that.
I love Legends of Tomorrow because it's the first superhero show since maybe Smallville, but even then, because of advances in technology, Legend of Tomorrow is the first superhero show to actually fully embrace its comic book roots. Mm-hmm. And because it's a time travel show, it can go anywhere or any time in the DC universe. And that's probably why CW named it DC's Legend of Tomorrow.
I know, but what other comic book characters are involved in this show? What other company? That DC's part makes me so angry.
I
People
know.
understand.
It's like naming the Avengers movie Marvel's The Avengers.
I know. It's like the whole Saban's Power Rangers thing. I'm just like, we understand. But yeah, I agree. It's I think it was Berlanti that said it himself that this is meant to be an anthology show. They built it to be such a thing. You're always going to be a new big bad. There's always going to be switches in the crew. It's just always going to be a new big bad is a lie that he just said that I feel is going to be rectified incredibly quickly when they realize they already killed off Vandal Savage. And if you've got a new big enough baddie to make people need to time travel to deal with, you're going to run out of big bads real quick.
Well, they could there are other options for big bads. I mean what, like, think about what Booster Gold and the Legion of Superheroes like stuff that they deal with. Like time travel is just kind of part of their gig. So I'm sure they can find other super villains to have as the big bad.
Oh, I'm sure, but Mike, we have to remember that who are they letting on TV and who are they letting in movies?
Good point.
That's why I said that. You're going to run out of people quick. So you might want to say 2 seasons or 3 is this guy. Because I'm still shocked that we got Vandal Savage on TV.
Yeah, and right out the gate, too.
Yeah. The immortal super bean. There you go. We're going to do him first try.
It does kind of remind me of in the New 52 Justice League, their very first villain was Darkseid, and then it comes back for Darkseid War, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, like straight out the boom tube, parademons raining hellfire on Earth, and just like that's starting to party with a bang. But what else? Like I said, man, I can't come up with predictions.
Well, I guess on that note, we'll head into the big news.
Ta-da!
Yeah. December is going to have the biggest crossover event, I think, ever. Not just in superheroes, but ever. December will have a crossover between Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. I saw that announcement this morning, and my mind just exploded.
My mind exploded, but I'm also terrified. Because this is either going to be amazing or a train wreck of epic proportions. There's going to be no middle ground.
Yeah, I am pretty scared, but scared in a good way.
Yeah, I need to hear who they're dealing with before I get excited about this episode. Because like I said, you've got the powerhouse of powerhouses at their disposal. Because now Vibe's got his powers, that adds even more.
What if it's the Thanagarian War?
I don't know. We just lost our 2 Thanagarians, possibly.
Possibly.
Well, do you think it would be a little anticlimactic if they come back in the very first episode of Legends and be like, guys, something happened. We gotta talk. Our people are mad. It's not good. Remember that thing we thought we stopped? We didn't.
Now, about Our Man. I pulled an article up from from January of 2015 about kind of the early plans that CW had for this Arrowverse. Okay, so in addition to an animated series on CW Seed based on the character Vixen, which is getting a season 2, the CW is reportedly in preliminary discussions about expanding the universe of their 2-hit DC Comics adaptations, Arrow and The Flash, according to reports coming out of the Television Critics Association panel for the shows. We are having some preliminary discussions, blah, 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 blah. Could there be another hour in that universe? Possibly, as long as there's no audience fatigue. Well, clearly there isn't.
Audience fatigue, you're hilarious.
There's been talk of adding additional DC content ever since The Flash took out. Last year, the CW started developing Our Man, but it stalled. I'll stop there because then they start talking about what we didn't know at the time was going to be Legend of Tomorrow. But yeah, Our Man was one of the planned spin-offs. So I guess in hindsight, it makes perfect sense that he's the new recruit of season 2 of Legends.
One of the 3.
Oh, right, because there's 2 others.
Yeah, that a military person, I thought they said, and then I'm trying to remember what their descriptions were. But yeah, that's going to be different.
So let's just assume that our 3 new characters are Our Man, check, Citizen Steel, and Lady Blackhawk.
That would be awesome.
I think I'm excited for the season. I'll even forgive the fact that that Ryan is, well, who knows what he's going to be up to, and that Vixen is still not quite a series regular yet on anything other than animation.
She better be a series regular on something, because they made a really cool character. They better not waste it.
If she resides mostly in animation, that'll be okay. I would still much rather she be either a recurring character on Arrow and or The Flash and or Legends, or she maybe sometime later down the line folds into Legends for like season 3. Or, who knows? The possibilities are endless. And they became even more endless when Supergirl moved to the CW. By the way, if you watched the episode live tonight, they showed like a cute little promo advertising that Supergirl is coming to the CW.
So I got a question. Are they going to just say that her world exists and she only ever pops over to Earth, whatever, magically whenever they need her to be in a crossover? Or do you think somehow she's going to get zapped into our continuity?
The jury's out on that one.
Because she still doesn't even know how she got Barry back. Fully.
But I'm sure they'll think of something. You know what would be cool though, if the first episode of Supergirl season 2 was like some sort of mini crisis that somehow led to Flash. I don't know. Somehow leads to Flash like folding the worlds together. Or maybe that's the December crossover. Who knows?
It could be. She's gonna spend half the show like normal, and then the other heck. I just had a really funny thought in my head of like her having her video quality of CBS, and then that Infinite Crisis happens, and she shifts to CW, and she's just like, man, everything seems a lot darker over here.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
That elephant in the room's got to be addressed when their budget gets chopped in a third when they go to the CW.
Although, if I may be brutally honest, I think certain episodes of Legends and The Flash look better than Supergirl.
I cannot say anything because I've only seen the one episode and it didn't have a whole lot of CG in it, so I'll take your word for it.
And I haven't even seen the full series, but going by certain screenshots, I'm like, no, yeah, Legend and The Flash look better, and on a smaller budget.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Anything else that we have to go over?
No, that's about it.
All right, everyone. This is possibly our third to last show for this season, so that's kind of freaky. That it's like almost over. Me and Mike are gonna have to come up with other things to do on a weekly basis, but you'll still be seeing us after that. We'll come up with stuff. Probably end up doing DC movie news or something like that in the meantime. But thank you for watching. We will be schedule's gonna be kind of weird. For Arrow should be up on Thursday. Arrow's episode should be up on Thursday next week. Flash's will be up probably Saturday because life sucks and we aren't going to be able to work that out. So yeah, my name is Brock Emmerich. You can find me at WayneTech7 on Twitter, Organoid0 on YouTube, and at the Geeks and Gamers Facebook group and Sons and Daughters Facebook group. Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Coach K or Captain K42 on Twitter. Find me in the Geeks and Gamers Facebook group and the Sons and Daughters of Movie Talk group. Thank you guys for watching our kind of long and rambly reviews. You can find those on the Geeks and Gamers YouTube channel, where you have Arrowverse After Show, We Are Geek, Ask an Admin, various reviews and vlogs and stuff. And finally, make sure you're signing up for the Geeks and Gamers website, www.geeksgamers.com. Sign up for the Geek Boards. There are millions of great conversations every day. You get geek points. You can win free stuff. Who doesn't want to win free stuff?
Free stuff is awesome.
Free stuff is the best. So yeah, go sign up for the website.
All right. Again, thank you everyone for watching. It's been a long journey so far and it's almost over. We'll see you guys next time.